Good. All right, bet. Yo, welcome. Episode 39. 10 Cents Podcast crew. You know how we do. It's your boy Rick Rob, and we are live on YouTube today. Man, it's a beautiful thing. Let's see what we got. We got a special show. Well, we did have a special show, then some things changed, but still it's gonna be a special show. How about that? It's gonna be a good show either way. Let's talk to who is here today. My man Eddie P. How you living?
Living good, guys. Daddy's back from Santa Barbara, and from beautiful Santa Barbara, and I'm ready to get the talk on.
Yeah, I bet you got a lot to talk about today. B, talk to me. How you living?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Living it up out here. Got some rain this last week. Fuck, it poured. Yeah, let's get this thing going. Ready for the next week.
No doubt. Live from the Witness Protection Program, Coach, or should we say THC, or any other pseudonym you want to use. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, and it's another great week for us to be together to entertain you that is watching live.
Real talk, you look like you from a 90s R&B video. Like, I'm waiting on you to be like, you remind me of a girl, something like that. Scott Storch. Babo, how you doing, brother?
What's up, fellas? How's it going? Living the dream out here at Menifee. Like B mentioned, a little bit of rain, a little bit of hail, a little unusual for SoCal, but living good, man.
So Bob, I just have a quick question. As far as you say living the dream every week, what is the dream to you?
My family's doing well. They're healthy. They're, happy. And we're good, man. Coronavirus hasn't invaded our home just yet, and hopefully it stays that way. So
amen to that, man.
Can't complain, man.
Amen to that. Well, speaking of family, shout out to your beautiful daughter, Sadie. I know she just had her third birthday. We love her. She's precious. I know Luda, you were over there yesterday. Talk to us. How you living?
What's up? Good morning, everybody in podcast YouTube land. If you like our channel, please subscribe and hit that like button, and just give us a comment if you like anything. But this is Luda with the crew, because this is how we do when we do what we do. Let's get it.
Amen. And it's a blessing to be here with y'all, man. We have some people out, unfortunately not feeling well. I hope you feel better. I heard stomach issues and all that is going around. I don't know what's in y'all diet. Y'all should fix it.
Some bubble guts going around.
Some duck guts. I don't know what that is.
Whatever that is.
Whatever that is.
That's probably what he ate last night was duck guts.
See? That's that white people shit. But we'll talk about that later on.
Whoa. Don't be jealous.
I'm not. I'm good. All right. So usually our guy KD is here to pull receipts. I mean, he's the one who asked for this segment, and he is not partaking. This was the last minute omission. So, okay. Does anybody have any receipts they want to pull from last week?
There's gotta be some for Mick, because dude is Mr. Hedging on the fence on everything. But
he said that the Green Bay was going to win, and they did.
I thought so too.
I think a lot of us
so
thought
too.
Green Bay was going to win.
Yeah, I said that.
But you guys
Green
took
Bay
away.
the Chiefs.
You guys took away from Tom Brady, the GOAT, guys. I mean, he knows how to pull it off, and you know what? A lot of it also has to do with the mistake on Aaron Rodgers' part. Can you call it a mistake or the wrong decision? Whatever, you all know what I'm talking about. He could have ran it in for the touchdown, and he didn't. And I think that's what cost him the game.
They should have still went for it on fourth down, though. I mean, worst case scenario, you don't get the touchdown, but you're playing defense on the, inside the 20, better than the situation that they had. So, I mean, that's a dumb call by the coach.
That is, right? And that speaks to kind of how off they were. You know what I'm saying? Like him and Matt LaFleur, I know there was a lot of talk about that last year, right?
Right.
Like, will they be gel and all that? And this year, it just seemed like they got everything rolling. They were on the right page. And then at the most critical point of the season, they're on two different wavelengths, right? And so, let's dig right into it. You know what I mean? Like you're right. That call was very, very questionable because you give the GOAT, a chance. That let's go back even further. The call before the half, the defensive call, the one where old boy got that damn touchdown, that should have never occurred. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's the worst DB play in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
Like
That was
honestly,
BS.
how do you let a dude get behind you with
That's horrible.
like 5 seconds left? I mean,
Yeah, the one thing they couldn't let happen, they let happen.
no. Yeah.
Well, it reminds me of the Jets Raiders game, right? When they had
Yes.
a similar situation where the guy got deep and scored the touchdown.
And
Raiders
no boy
win.
got fired the next week, right?
Yeah,
He didn't make it
So-
after that. Yeah, man. So okay, so we know pretty much we wrapped up kind of how that game went, right? The GOAT
Yeah.
is in the bowl once again. You know, I don't know if you guys seen all the memes. They're pretty funny, man. They're like literally Tom Brady was like, "Who wants to go to the Super Bowl?" And the Bucks were like, "Me." And he was like, "Bet, come on." So he's got them in the Super Bowl, right? Aaron Rodgers, lots to talk this week. You know, obviously upset. You know, not just what happened in game, but just overall. You know, he feels a certain way about his time in Green Bay. Where do we think that goes from here? I mean, do we think that he stays? Do we think he goes? Ed, what do you think?
I think he stays. I think he's upset, and excuse me. After everything that happened, he obviously didn't agree with LaFleur. I don't think
Right.
anybody did, because you just can't. You can't do that. You know, down 8 points, kick a field goal and give it back to the GOAT with 2 minutes
Right.
left. You're not going to get the ball back, and they didn't. I think he stays because where else is he really going to go? They are going to do everything they can to keep him there, because he is
Mhm.
also another GOAT, so to speak. That's
Yeah.
what I think. He's staying.
I think unless San Francisco could do something to try to get Aaron Rodgers to go there,
Oh,
He's
hell
staying.
no.
He's-
Oh yeah, back
staying
to the
in-
Bay Area. Back to
which
back to
would
his
be
home.
crazy, right?
it would
Yeah,
be
it would
crazy
be.
because you're getting rid of
That's
Jimmy
a good
G.
point.
You know,
That
but
would piss me off. That
that would piss me off too. Being a Rams fan.
Because you're a Rams fan.
Yeah.
But I don't see him going anywhere. I think he's one of those guys that ends his career where he started. I just
Exactly.
think that's the way Aaron Rodgers is.
I
So,
believe that. I
um,
believe that.
I think they're going to be right there again next year. I mean, let's face it. Who in their division scares them? First off, right?
Yeah.
No one right now,
The
right?
new look Detroit Lions. We'll
Oh.
get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
You know, I mean, I just don't. The Vikings are, you know, everyone thought the Vikings were going to be pretty good, and they were garbage again this year. And
Watson to the Bears.
I've heard
I mean,
that. I've heard that.
if Chicago
Either-
were to somehow get Watson, then obviously you got to throw them into the mix. But I mean, if they're still gonna ride and die with Mitchell Trubisky or what's his name? Why am I already forgetting dude's name?
Foles.
Nick
Okay. In Foles, we trust. All right.
Right.
Put some respect on his name, damn it.
Yeah.
And they should do everything to keep him, because
Yeah.
they should have won this game.
Yeah.
I mean-
they
Well,
should.
and that's the thing. I mean, if you think about it, he's got a running game finally, right? With
Mhm.
Jones,
Right.
he still has one of the top receivers in the game,
Yeah.
right? Still has
Not
good
deep,
tight
yeah.
ends, right?
Yeah.
And
Finally got a decent
Oh,
defense.
decent defense. And let's face it, they lost their best offensive lineman the week before, right?
Right.
With the what was it, ACL? I think it
Yeah, I
was.
think it was
I
ACL.
believe so.
and,
yeah.
and they lost one of their other big offensive linemen during the game, like in the first quarter. So they
Mhm.
And their running back.
right, and so it was a mismatch of just an offensive line for the championship game. I think they'll
Yeah.
be right there again next year. I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
they're going to win 6 games in their division alone. They
Yeah.
should go 6-0.
Yeah,
So
the
that's all
thing
right.
that I look at, I'm almost, in agreement with Brian, just because you look at the coach, I think that's the biggest piece for them. With McCarthy leaving and Coach LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers getting along after the second season. That's
Yep.
to me, that's what Aaron Rodgers is looking for. So
Coach, may I ask that the reason you agree with Brian is because you're both white?
That's later, Luda.
it's-
We're going to talk white
we,
shit
we,
later.
we, we,
Yeah.
we definitely gonna talk
Oh.
more white people shit for sure. That's gonna be a
all
theme.
right. All right.
Coach, I'm gonna stick with you. Let's talk the AFC for a minute, right? Okay, so
Yes,
Bills
sir.
and Chiefs, great game. And I'm chippy game, right? Like I think we have a rivalry for real.
Yeah.
For real.
I think so
Right.
too.
Talk to me about what you saw. What stuck out the most for you? Start with Patrick Mahomes.
Well, come on, sir. No, I'm looking, honestly, I look at Josh Allen. I think hopefully he was able to go back and look at that tape, because if they didn't take the air out of the ball like we had predicted they should have, and without them taking the air out of the ball, you cannot keep up with the Chiefs. They just
Are you talking about like
they
Tom
have-
Brady did?
Tom Brady did what?
Take
He
the air out of the ball.
deflated it.
Took the
Deflate
air out
gate.
of the
Remember
ball.
deflate gate?
This
I
this
just
Tom
wanted a
episode-
clarification.
You mean the correction, not clarification.
Okay, high school
So,
teacher.
so my review of that game was the Bills got out of their offensive game plan, and I think the defense. You can't put the Chiefs' offense out there and expect most defenses to be able to stop them. You just can't. Eventually, it's going to break, and that's what happened. So, Chiefs. Here's my prediction: Chiefs 31, Tampa Bay 28.
Oh shit.
Okay,
Hey,
well, shit. I
I'll
was
take
gonna
that.
say
That's
for
a
next
good
week.
game.
Yeah, let's go into it. What are your
I'll just well, I was going to talk a little bit on the Chiefs.
Oh, go ahead.
but-
You
Go
go ahead.
ahead.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
I'll just say this. I sent a text to all you guys. There was one throw that I don't know if anybody else makes it. I think I shouldn't say that. There's several quarterbacks in the league who will make it. It's just Josh Allen's not at that point yet. He still needs to see the receiver get a little bit separation before he makes a throw or
Right.
trusts his throw. There was one play where Mahomes threw the ball and dude wasn't even open,
Mhm.
but he put it right in the spot, right in the seam. It was like a skinny post going right down the middle. I think it might have been to either Kelsey or to the slot receiver. I can't remember who it was, but anyways, he was not open. All you saw was just the back of the defender, and you knew there was another guy in front of him, and he put the ball right here, and his guy just all of a sudden just put his hands up and caught it. I mean, that's the kind of things that the great
done a lot
ones
of that.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mahomes was on his game last
Yeah.
week. He just was. I mean, there was a few instances where you could see that he was either trying to get a play to develop longer, and then he just runs out of time and he threw the ball down into the ground a few times and that kind of stuff. But versus, I think if he did have a healthy foot, he takes off running like he normally would. But
Right.
he's just special. And the one thing with the Bills is same thing. Who scares them really in their division going in the next year? I mean, and until we see what New England comes back as, obviously see what Miami does, right? I mean, there's talks of even Watson possibly landing in Miami. I just, the Bills should be right back again next year, as long as
You
everything
just need a running game.
works.
The running game was
Their running
kinda
game was a little,
non-existent through most of the year.
I agree.
Yeah. They can't rely
but-
on Josh Allen to be their running game.
No, but
Right,
Josh,
definitely not.
but another year of Josh in the same system, he's just going to get more and more comfortable with the play calls and all that kind of stuff. So,
But what's Miami thinking? Just like give two of the finger, ship them off somewhere else?
well, basically they have
Compete now.
They have all the draft stock to do whatever the hell they want, right?
Yeah.
Right.
With
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the
I'm just
trade
saying,
value.
like, what
But I mean, they're not even going to give him a shot. Like, I mean, I thought he did pretty well
They-
this
I
year.
mean,
They did, but
for
every
Watson,
single time
yeah, I
they did,
wouldn't.
No, of course, if you get Watson, but yeah, but I mean, why wouldn't you give your guy a shot? That was your number one draft pick, right?
Right.
Yep.
yeah. Well, I mean,
So,
they did, every single time that things got a little hairy, they yank him and put in Fitzpatrick. So,
Right.
I mean, I don't know. If you can go and land a guy like Watson who's only 25,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, let's
you do it.
well, let's save it. We're gonna get to that in a second. Let's
right.
let's wrap up. Let's wrap up last week, okay, and then fast forward to next week, right? The 7th.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
so who do we have winning next Sunday? Let's get some more predictions out. I know we're gonna talk about it.
Tampa Bay.
Wow.
You got
Kansas City.
Tom.
I think it's going to
Yep.
be the Chiefs.
Okay.
I'm leaning Chiefs also.
Coach.
Yeah.
You said the Chiefs, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Chiefs.
Chiefs
Absolutely.
as well. All right, Luda. I like your odds. You might want to put some money on it.
Look, you have Tom Brady. That's first of all, and you have
Yeah.
a team that's hungry to want to win a Super Bowl. So Tom Brady's the best, dude. Tom Brady basically went to Tampa Bay and said, "Hey, do you guys want to go to the Super Bowl? Come on."
Yeah.
So and that's what he did. And they're playing at Tampa Bay. Now, granted, it might be limited capacity, so it may not be entirely their
Going to be a lot
fans or whatever.
of medical workers, right?
Yeah, but apparently
Yeah.
there's gonna. But they're the first time ever for that to happen, I guess, if I'm not mistaken, for the home team.
And of course, Tom is involved. That's cute.
and
Yeah.
you're involved.
Only
Had enough
fitting.
of him.
yeah.
So he's been this is 10th Super Bowl appearance, maybe his 7th Super Bowl ring. So we'll see how it goes.
I think it's going to be a change in of the guard right here.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see that goat. It's going to be one goat anointing another future goat. But all right. Well, let's get to the elephant in the room. Why don't we? We got 3 of the Ramblers. You know what I mean? We alluded to it a little bit earlier. And Ramley, I'm just going to start with y'all. Let's see. I'm going to start on the other spectrum. Luda.
Look,
No. Let me start with the most enthusiastic one. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me get back to you because I think you guys should discuss this amongst yourselves.
okay.
I'm sorry. P, you were the most enthusiastic.
Yes.
When did that trade happen? Last night? Yesterday? Stafford?
Yes, yesterday.
Yeah.
They
Stafford?
said yesterday, but apparently they can't make it official until March 17th because
Right.
that's the new season. Yeah.
Well, it's official as fuck. I mean, hey, look, if Goff was feeling any sort of way about Jalen commenting on Deshaun's post, he definitely feels some sort of way now.
Yeah,
Right.
he
You know what I'm
does.
saying? So
Yeah, I'm
so
pretty
just-
excited about it.
lay out what was the trade? Lay out what was the trade first for me. Lay it out.
The trade. Obviously, the Rams are only getting Stafford.
Freudian
Yep.
slip.
Stafford.
Slip.
Hold on, you're getting Stafford in a 3rd-round pick.
Oh, they are
see
getting a
it?
3rd round
Oh,
pick. Okay. I
even
didn't-
better.
Wait.
No, we're
you're
not.
right.
We're
You're only
not.
getting
It's just
Stafford.
Stafford.
Okay, yeah,
Right.
just
You're only
Stafford.
getting
Yeah.
Thank you.
Stafford.
Just Stafford.
But
Go
you're
ahead,
giving
Bob.
up.
Go ahead, Bob. You might know the details of that.
So we're giving up obviously Goff, 2022 first round draft pick, 2023 first round draft pick, and I think it's a 2023 3rd round draft pick.
No, I thought the 3rd round was this year.
Yeah, I think it's this.
Was it this year? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's
Either
this
way,
year.
we're giving up a 3rd round draft pick, right?
Oh,
Doesn't matter,
and don't forget $22 million in dead money, cap space.
but, the
Hey,
money
is
I'm not.
Yeah.
I think
Matthew
they're worried
Stafford
about so
Jesus?
much.
Thanks for reminding us, Brian.
Like, did they get Jesus?
Say, it seems like a lot to give up for a guy that's 7 years older. Just saying.
That's okay. because
Goff
with what they
has
gave Goff,
42 wins. Goff has 42 wins as a starter since he's been in the league, which is second only to Tom Brady.
Only to
So
the GOAT.
that has to go for something. This year I think mentally something's going on. Something could be wrong in his family. Someone could have COVID and they're not doing well. That he's mentally not in the game.
Relationship
that's what his
status or
problem was
something.
this year.
And y'all cared about that shit so much, y'all sent him to Detroit, Michigan.
Look,
You know what? Yeah,
It's not my call. It's not my call.
I have no idea what Bob's talking about because that was happening last year too. When the Rams win 9-7, Goff started playing like crap then. So
we always have an off season, sir. But but
he's
look,
had 2 in a row.
in my opinion, look, it's not a bad pickup that we got Stafford for Goff. My thing was I would have preferred that the Rams made an effort for Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson. Now, whatever Brian wants to say about bring up, I get it. As far as we don't have enough to give back for those guys, but I wish they would have tried. It was just too fast. But look, Stafford, real quick, Stafford is a better pocket passer than Goff. I feel he'll do better. He's part of a defensive championship caliber team that's going to help him move forward in the playoffs. So I think he has a better line to protect them. I think we'll do well. It wasn't my first choice, but welcome home, Stafford.
Here's my thing. You guys gave up the freaking proverbial or whatever you want to say it farm to get Stafford. What would it have costed you to get Watson?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sure Les Snead
or
explored
Aaron
that.
Rodgers. Yeah,
Man,
but
I'm sure they explored that, but obviously it couldn't happen.
and like I had mentioned into text to all you guys, I'm sure everybody was coming back going, sure, give us Aaron Donald.
Oh yeah,
give us,
Yeah,
That
like,
wasn't going to happen.
no, but you
That
get,
wasn't
you know
gonna
what I'm
happen.
saying. In order for you
Right.
to try a guy
But
like
okay,
Rodgers
what's
or
it going
Watson,
to take to get Watson? 3 first-round draft picks? They were
Well,
saying
and
he gave up
probably.
2.
And that's what I was going to
But we
say.
gave
Like,
up
if
2.
you're,
Why not give up 1 more? Like, what's
Yeah.
the difference?
Right.
Like, if we're gonna do all that to get Stafford, why not give up 1 more first-round draft pick and try to get Watson?
Yeah, that
If
move
that's what
fucked
they
up
were
the
gonna ask
market,
for.
just so you know. Because honestly,
Yeah.
like those suitors
Yeah.
of Deshaun Watson are going to be like, well, you know what I'm saying? If I'm
Yeah.
the Texans, I'm
Yeah,
like, I see
I
what
agree.
they just did to get Stafford.
right.
Oh,
Right.
you want Watson? Oh yeah, no niggas. I need all your draft picks for the rest of your fucking. As long as you are an NFL franchise, I need them all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thinking back, and we sort of had this conversation before we started the show. I guess there was a receipt to pull, and that was a receipt for Mr. Eddie P. And in regards to your squad, into the playoffs, you wanted that mobile quarterback in Wofford.
Oh,
The mobile quarterback. I think you're reading way too much into that because the mobile quarterback thing is no big deal.
Yeah, but
I'll take a pocket passer.
I wanted him to run. He can get out and stretch his legs. Oh,
no, I did not say that. I don't know who you heard. I did not say that. Full receipts. You never heard me say that.
One of you, Ramley.
I said I would like to see Wolford because I said I would like to see Wolford because I want to see what he has, and he looked like he was showing some stuff. I never talked about him being this great runner, which he looks like he can run better than Goff, but whatever.
Yeah,
that's secondary.
You go from
passing.
You guys are going from one statue as a quarterback to another statue. So,
but this statue is good.
Look,
yeah,
you guys hold on. You guys are trying to downplay Stafford. You guys are downplaying Stafford like he's nobody.
I'm not saying that he
can fucking sling that rock.
He can.
He's a gunslinger,
but he's also injury prone.
He has been, yes.
He's been injury prone.
But that's because he's had no line. We have a line.
No line, yeah.
He's never had weapons except for Megatron. That's a great weapon, but that's the only one he's had. He's been on a shit franchise, not just team, a pathetic franchise his whole career.
Oh, let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you guys this. Would Megatron come back to the Rams?
I wondered that, but no, I don't know.
You know?
He's been out the league too long.
What?
Yeah.
He's been out the league too long.
Yeah.
Megatron is cool. He's chill.
I think that dude's like 1 year away from being up for the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
So he ain't coming back.
And he's going. So he's
for sure.
Wasn't he one of the finalists this year? I thought he was.
Was he?
I
don't know.
He might have been.
I thought.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. We had the list here. I will look at the list. Yeah. All right. Well, all right. So we're talking that, and once again, as we talk about this trade being finalized, how quickly it came through, and the shit that was involved in it. There's still the Deshaun Watson thing, which I don't know if you guys seen. The GM was like, under no circumstances are we trying to trade him. We've got plans for him for the future, et cetera, et cetera. He still hasn't waived his no trade clause, which I get why. You know what I'm saying? Because if he waives it, then he can basically be traded anywhere, right? And he wants to continue to have that power. So what do we think ultimately will occur? Is Deshaun Watson going to step on the football field for the Texans next year, or where's he going to be?
Happening.
Well, I just we got to see if there's going to be a team who's going to be willing to give up what it's going to take to get him.
Who has that?
Well, and that's the thing.
There's a lot of teams out there that have that.
Yeah, but you're gonna look at a minimum of 3 first-round picks plus probably a top quarterback who was a first-round pick. So you're already talking about 4, and they're gonna want somebody who's probably like on a rookie deal, right? That's the way I look at it. That's why I do think if there is a chance, you're looking at a Miami or a New York Jets, because both of those teams have brand new or newer quarterbacks that were all taken in the first round that are still on a rookie contract, because then you're not tied to that guy. He's on a rookie deal. You can still go out with one of these first round picks and go draft another quarterback. Yeah. And then you've got your guy, right? The coach has got their guy. The new GM's got his guy, and you just go from there. But
so let me ask you
somebody
this.
willing to do it.
If you're Bill Belichick, are you asking yourself, do I think he's better than Cam? And do you make a play for that?
Again, though, but because
Bill doesn't do
that kind of stuff. Bill doesn't do. He's not going to give up 3-4 first-round picks. I just don't see
right. He'd probably take Garoppolo back over that.
Right.
It could be like a 3-team trade in order to get Watson to somewhere else that makes sense for them. And who knows? Maybe Garoppolo goes back to the Patriots.
The only thing that I could see would be either like we're talking about the Jets or Miami. I think Miami's more. If I'm Deshaun Watson, I don't know why he wants to go to New York. There's no weapons in New York. The defense is decent, but in Miami it looks promising with the new coach. But
what are the weapons he has there? Gesicki?
The Parker kid, the tight end. Well, tell me who the weapons are in New York then.
No, I'm not saying that
Robert Saleh.
I'm just saying that there's no great weapons in Miami.
Devontae Parker is nice, yeah.
And the tight end is nice too. I mean, it's just it seems like there's things that are moving in the right direction in Miami than in New York. That's my but I just want to go on the record and say if Houston is demanding or not negotiating 3 first-round picks, I can't swallow that. That's just too. That's almost like Herschel Walker trade.
Oh shit!
And we know that Watson's he's not that talent. He's
not a Herschel Walker.
Yeah. Well,
here, let me ask you this question. Is Deshaun who's better right now? Deshaun
Watson's not that talent,
or he's not like.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish your thing.
Would you rather have Deshaun Watson or Dak without Dak getting hurt? Deshaun or Dak? Which one would you rather have?
Deshaun.
I'm a Cowboys guy, and I'd say Deshaun.
I think Deshaun. Yeah.
So do you see? I just can't see 3 first round. That's a lot. That's a lot.
You say that's a lot, but look, when Goff got drafted, they gave up a ton of picks to draft him, get his draft rights. So it's not a lot based on the standards that we have today.
Well, if it was a lot of picks, that's different than a lot of first round. That's 3 first round picks because you can always mortgage that. Like, what's that?
Nothing. Go ahead.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay. That was a quick. Okay. He's done. All right. Well, thanks for that. Okay. Well, you know what? Hey, honestly, I think that time will tell. Really how the Goff Stafford trade really went. I think honestly, right now, I think Detroit was a winner because even if Goff doesn't work out, they've got a lot of assets. But I think for Stafford, it's a good last hurrah. It's a very good last hurrah. And I hope it works out for you guys. I really do. I hate to see you guys, constantly sign all these people and never win a thing. Like that sounds like some Dallas Cowboys shit. You know what I'm saying?
There is a receipt. There is a receipt that I'd like to pull. I think there was a Robert Quintero on this podcast that used to be, correct me if I'm wrong, corrector,
names.
A Detroit Lion fan.
So you got a Stafford Detroit
for the Lions, yes,
and Rams jersey now.
Have a team. I rooted for the Lions. That is correct. But I always said once LA gets a team, that's going to be my team.
I better not see your
son in
a Stafford jersey.
You have no feelings for Detroit at all? No feelings?
No feelings. No feelings.
He loves them now again. Thank you, Detroit. Nope. I miss you, boo. I appreciate that.
I had to do some little politicking in order to get them. So, I had to step up to the plate.
And coach, in defense of my brother, which I rarely do, you guys know that. You need to put a little bit of receipts on other people on the podcast that have changed. Let's just say,
here we go.
Itineraries.
He already knows who it is.
Here we go.
and I won't name names. I'm just gonna say, just please, just don't defer to my brother. In his defense, there was no team, and if he wants to go another route, I personally followed my team all the way to St. Louis. And
I was just going to point that out. I was just going to point that out, Luda. You stayed faithful, and your brother, he wandered off.
I stayed faithful to LA. When LA doesn't have a team,
bro, you were a Cardinals fan. You've been a Detroit fan. I mean, I think you was on the Eagles bandwagon at one point.
Ask Jamal why I was a Cardinals fan. Ask Jamal why he jumped to the Cardinals. There's a reason.
We're not talking about Jamal. We're talking about you.
Bobo, weren't the Raiders in LA when you were a Cardinals or Detroit fan?
We didn't have a team in LA. So that's why I didn't root for anybody in LA.
Eddie P, say that again.
Bobo, when you were a Detroit or a Cardinals fan, weren't the Raiders in LA?
No, they were not, because I was a Raider fan.
Are you sure?
I 100%. I didn't jump ship from the Raiders until they went to Oakland.
When did they go back to
Oakland? So you were a Raiders fan.
That's 100% fact. Yes, I was. Okay. I was a Raider fan when they were in LA. I was an LA Raider fan. When they went to Oakland, I said, because I'm a LA Southern California guy.
So which team did you follow when both were
in
here?
Menifee?
Okay, I'm gonna say it again.
And living,
you guys
don't
seem to remember. You guys are obviously getting a little older and don't seem to remember. I was an LA Raider.
You got
fan.
a white goatee dog. You got white hair.
Jason, listen, THC. Listen, you got a little THC too much right now. I'm an LA Raider fan. The Rams played in Anaheim. They were called the LA Rams, but they played in Anaheim.
Man.
I'm an LA guy, not an Orange County guy. I'm an LA guy. That's why I'm a Kings fan.
So how do you go from silver black to now blue and gold?
Oh,
they came to LA. I said,
but I mean, come on. If you were a Raider fan,
if you guys,
I don't think there's another single Raider fan.
You're always going to ask the same questions. You got to listen. I'm an LA guy. The fact that the Rams came back to LA, that's who I'm rooting for. And
so
they're in LA. They're not in Anaheim.
You're a Clippers fan. Are you a Clippers fan?
No, I'm a Lakers fan.
They're in LA.
Bob, I'm not going to hammer Bob too much on this.
Listen to what you're saying. Lakers were already here. That's who I am. I'm an LA Galaxy fan, not an LAFC fan, because LA Galaxy was here first. I'm not going to jump ship because they're LA. I can never jump ship from LA.
We can have an entire segment on questionable
that's who I rooted for.
But Bob, if that's your reasoning, the Rams were here in LA before the Raiders.
In Anaheim. In Anaheim. When I first started watching football.
No.
Listen. When I first started watching football,
you're not listening, Mijo.
It was the Raiders that were here. That's who I started rooting for when I was a kid.
All right. So y'all got to look. I'm the referee. I'm calling this shit off. Leave Bob alone. Goddamn it.
Every year, I'm an LA guy. LA facts.
Yeah, I'm leaving Bob alone. I'm just saying, if you leave the Rams now, if you leave the Rams again,
if they leave, I'm leaving. How about that? That's what I'm saying. I'm not leaving.
I'm hammering your nuts.
That's De Niro. Okay, when De Niro talks, you listen. All right. He gave you the De Niro face.
Eddie P said he was gonna hammer your nuts.
They move. You know, I'm not sticking with them. I'm sticking with whoever stays in LA.
Okay, you better.
All right. Good times. All right, guys. We are going to wrap up the first quarter on that note. Bob, I'm sorry. Ramley, it was so easy.
Comes from the guy that went from rooting for USC football to UCLA.
Here we go. I knew you had that's fine.
Throw that out there. I'll throw it out there too.
Damn.
Bob.
You're right. And that's from a football perspective.
We're talking about football. We're talking about a sport.
But see now here, you always have. But you always have.
I know what you're gonna say.
You always have something else. That's the thing. It's like
about a sport.
Now we're talking only football. Now we're only talking football. But yet you.
Well, that's all I changed
for the cross-down rifle in basketball.
That's fucked up. That's whatever.
All right.
All right. On to the second quarter. We are not spinning the wheel this week. We didn't get that sponsorship, so we're not going to spin it. We have already decided what we are getting into this week, and this week we are squadding up. So we've got 3 topics here, and unfortunately, we're a little bit off with the numbers. So you know what? This is just how we're going to do this. Since the theme of this is 2 things, really. It's Ramley and it's white people. That's exactly how we squadding up. We are putting the Ramley against the whites.
Oh, that's good.
I love y'all. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Say, all right, hey, look, I love y'all. All right, so Jason and Brian, one team. Luda, the Quintero boys, basically, and Eddie, you know what I'm saying? On the other team, we are going to start in NBA, since we're not going to talk too much into it in terms of the first quarter. Second quarter, we're going to talk about the most influential player of the past 30 years. Now, there was a little thing put out on the gram that said over the past 30 years, the 4 most influential people were Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, and Steph Curry. So we're going to take it a step further. I think we're going to, for the sake of this conversation, we're going to omit Jordan. Okay. Who do you guys think out of those 3, omitting Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, and Steph Curry, who do you guys have as the most influential player in the NBA over the past 30 years, and why? I'm going to start with my white gang. B, pop off.
Well, I think, and that's just because I'm an LA guy, I think it was Kobe Bryant. I don't see. LeBron was still going to be LeBron. He was just a talent. and that's what it was. Steph still going to be Steph. I mean, it comes from a shooting family, right? His dad was a great shooter in the NBA, but I just think it was Kobe Bryant. Kobe has done so much for the game itself, not only during his playing days, but then afterwards. And if you notice, that's LeBron's following in the same footsteps. Mm-hmm. That's the way I look at it. I mean, LeBron's now doing all his TV work and documentaries and all that kind of stuff. Well, Kobe was the one who started all that, and very influential. He was taking the women's game to a whole nother level too for his daughter. So I'm going to say Kobe was the most influential over the last 30 years, omitting Jordan.
Okay.
And you're saying we only have to pick from those three, Rick?
That's it. Yeah. Now we can talk about omissions, right? Because I definitely think that there were omissions in there.
I was going to go with LeBron, but Brian convinced me that, Kobe, he's done some things that I have to admit, I wasn't a Kobe fan, obviously not a Lakers fan, but I have mad respect for him now looking back and seeing how he has influenced more than just his own sport. So I would obviously agree with Brian.
Jesus.
It's hard.
We have to argue with that.
Yeah. Love the pick you put up.
Yeah. Love the pick. Yeah. You are. Yeah. He's our own Woody Page. He's our resident Woody Page.
Come on, dog. We got to keep it real.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's many too influential players, but and it's not necessarily just being a LA guy, but we saw Kobe grow up. I used to love his McDonald's.
I should have omitted Kobe too. I'm sorry.
I loved his McDonald's commercial until he had that situation in Denver where they pulled out on him, which he probably should have as well. But he was an influential player. We saw him grow up, and
so here, let's spin it this way, Rick. Let's spin it this way.
Yeah.
The omissions. Why don't we have to pick from the omissions? Give us some omissions.
Well, you know what? There was a lot of talks in terms of Allen Iverson. He wasn't on this list, and he was extremely influential during this time. Larry Bird.
Magic.
Well, so we said 30 years.
You said 30 years. I guess that would be.
That would be in the 90s.
That'd be the 90s. Yeah.
That would be the 90s.
Yeah.
So no Larry Bird. Yeah, they just missed that boat.
And no Magic.
No
Magic only went into 91, right?
So then the obvious. Now you said that Jordan couldn't be in this conversation.
Jordan shouldn't be in it. Honestly, Kobe shouldn't be in it either.
What about Magic?
No.
But it's 30. It's 30 years.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's 30 years. So I think the only other person that you could possibly put in is AI. Yeah,
T-Mac maybe.
T-Mac perhaps. A lot of people,
Hey, what about
I don't think any of those are even close to Kobe.
I agree.
I mean,
but
LeBron was the only one. Steph, it's still to be determined because there's a lot of young.
Well,
kids.
He's influencing a lot of young kids. Yeah, exactly.
My son is all about. Man, I had him growing up a Lakers fan and everything, and then he jumped ship as soon as the Warriors started doing their thing, and he's all about Curry. So,
Allen Iverson, maybe Mick and Byron, because he was short, and it probably gave them hope. I don't know.
I think honestly, most influential, not including Kobe, you'd have to say LeBron, because all the stuff that he does outside of the game. He's just helped a tremendous amount of kids back in Akron. He's helped kids here in LA. The only thing I think is Steph Curry's kind of changed the game a little more, because I know growing up, they always told us, don't shoot too far from the 3-point line, don't shoot fadeaway jumpers, and kids are just shooting from crazy ranges nowadays.
Launching from the locker room.
Kind of the norm.
That's because you can't play defense anymore in the league.
So then let me also.
He's definitely influencing, the 3-point game.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
look at Trae Young came in and he's shooting it from deep. Lillard's shooting it from deep, and it's just ridiculous how many shots you get from LeBron shooting it from deep. Things have changed so much.
The sad thing is over the last 30 years is, somebody else that should have at least have been talked about on that list should have been somebody like Shaquille O'Neal, except we've gone away from the big man.
I was just going to say
only bad thing.
I was going to say Tim Duncan, but it's not flashy, and the game has gone away from the big guys. Yeah. I mean, you look at like Embiid. I know we're getting off topic, but last year, one of my other friends that lives back here on the East Coast, he's a big Sixers fan, and I said we both were in agreement. Embiid should be dominating this game, and this year he's actually starting to take hold of the league and do what he needs to do. But going back to it, the most influential, is it based on the game? Is it based on the game and what you do outside, or is it like based on flash? Because I'm not saying that Kobe wasn't flashy. I'm not saying that, or LeBron, but you look like Tim Duncan just did his job, and obviously. Yeah. So it's kind of hard. You got to kind of really narrow it down to what you're saying as far as influential, because, back to what Brian said about Kobe and everybody said about Kobe, you look at LeBron and I look at him as, I think it was him and Garnett, and who else skipped the college scene? And it was him, Garnett,
Kobe.
So you
Moses
look at
Malone.
Tracy McGrady.
Malone.
Yeah.
And you look at those guys that
Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown.
Jermaine O'Neal.
But I look at that. You look at today's society, and I know it's a little bit, LeBron's older, and obviously Kobe was older, but you look at what that took to be able to have, and think about their surrounding entourage. They had to be so supportive and not want to take away from Kobe or LeBron. And to me, and they're giving back to their community. To me, that's no-brainer.
I think the influence is here, and I'll wrap this up. We'll move on to the next one. Is different. Kobe's. I think Kobe's biggest influence was his Mamba mindset. You know what I'm saying? That killer mentality, the way that he played the game, his heart, his grit. All of that on the court. We definitely talked about a lot of things that he did off the court, but I think a lot of people are influenced by that mentality, by that killer instinct, by that. You know what I'm saying? By any means necessary. This is the guy who tore his Achilles and still got up and shot. 2 free throws. This is the guy that was definitely, obviously on the way out and still scored 60 in his retirement game, that type of stuff. You have LeBron, and LeBron's biggest legacy is basically, he was a Magic Johnson type, got everybody involved. He also is, I guess you can say, the innovator of the super team. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's the guy that basically changed the way that people decide to team up, and they're like, yo, forget just playing summer league together. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're coming together, look at what's happening with the Nets. And then obviously with Steph Curry, it's his range, it's his way that he plays the game. It's inspiring a lot of young kids. And yeah, at the end of the day, the hard part about it is he doesn't play defense worth a damn. You know what I'm saying? The other day, we watched Steph Curry go off, and I think he scored something like 60 something. But if you look back at the game, you see how many times he played defense. He almost gave up, 60 something. You know what I mean? So, it's that type of thing. And at the end of the day, we just are trying to, all these guys are very influential in the game, and they will all go down in the hall. I think Kobe is this year, like soon, right? So that'll be dope. But anyways, enough of that. Let's move on. All right. So once again, we're sticking kind of with this. If you guys are GMs, since we love to play GMs, who were you taking? And Brian, I think you put this one, right?
Yeah, I put this one out there because this was before the trade happened, obviously.
This is definitely before the trade happened. But
I was just reflecting back to I think the 2016 or 17 draft, whatever it was. And if you were a GM right now, who would you start, or who would you choose? Goff or Wentz? Those were the two picks. Yeah. Right, those were the two picks that year. So
Brian, you really like to keep poking at the lion, huh, sir? But
hey,
but I mean, seriously, right now, if you were a GM, who are you taking? Goff or
honestly, Wentz? They're taking Goff all day.
I think Goff.
I'm taking Goff all day.
I think Goff.
Coach, go ahead.
Oh my goodness, you guys! I tell you, I feel bad for you. That you lost Goff, but even though he went to a Super Bowl, and really Wentz obviously went to a Super Bowl, but he was hurt. I'm taking Carson Wentz. I think Carson Wentz got, since Reich left and went to Indianapolis, I think he's gotten a raw deal, honestly, because you look at the offensive line, horrible injuries. Deshaun Jackson, the other receiver from Chicago that came over, tall guy. Jeffries, he was hurt. So you don't have that much of an offensive force. And I like Wentz. That's me. Because Goff.
You can't say that. You can't say that with a straight face, can you, Jason?
Absolutely,
because
100%.
Jalen Hurts came in and he didn't have a problem beating the New Orleans Saints.
Tell him, Bob.
Like he came in and he did the same with the same people, with the same staff. He did better. So how can you say that Wentz is so good when the rest of his team sucks? But Jalen Hurts came in and did some things. You know, they did lose to Dallas, but he made it competitive. They beat the Saints, which was supposed to be one of the stronger teams in the NFC this year.
What happened against the Redskins? What happened last game?
He got pulled. He got pulled. Or else they probably would have won that game.
Oh, really? So what happened?
So you think it was his choice to not play the rest of the game, or do you think the coach took him out for other reasons?
How did he perform up until that point in that game?
He performed pretty decently, actually. I don't know the numbers. I don't have them here, but he was doing pretty good. I'm not saying
enough to make people think that they would have won the game.
Yeah. Thank you, Eddie P, for backing up.
What do you think, Rick Rob? How did he do that game prior to getting pulled?
I stopped watching football in week 6.
You got to stop talking. Hey,
you know what? Ask Bob. Ask Brian, because Brian at least is somewhat honest. Go ahead, Brian.
Somewhat honest.
Man, both of them haven't really done a whole lot. That's the way I look at it. Right? I mean, considering they were number 1 and number 2, right? Yeah, in the draft that year.
But talking about that game that they're talking about, what is your thoughts on that?
Oh, on the Washington Philly game, it was a mess of a game from the get-go. Anyways, I mean, yeah, you could say that Hurts was doing okay, but that still doesn't mean that they're going to win the game.
No, but they had a better shot. They had a better shot. Yeah,
I mean, it cost the coach his job.
Yeah,
for a stupid move, right? But I'm sort of with Jason on this. I think if Carson goes to another situation, who knows? The kid can throw the ball. We've seen it, and he can get outside the pocket. He can move. I think he's got all the talent in the world to do it. I'm still up in the air on Goff. Because like you guys said, Goff had all the same weaponry and the great offensive line that you guys are talking about for Stafford, and he didn't amount to shit for the last 2 years.
So he still took it.
I'm just saying everything you said.
But you guys moved on.
Goff.
Wentz didn't take anybody to.
Yeah, but you guys moved on from Goff. So where's that? Where's that put?
Take anybody to the Super Bowl
because the coach.
Hold on. Yeah, Wentz didn't take anybody to the Super Bowl.
No, he didn't. Hurt. That was Foles. Wentz got hurt when he played the Rams, and after that, he didn't take him to the Super Bowl.
At the end of the season,
that was Foles that took him.
Yeah, week 15 or something. Yeah,
he got hurt at the end of the season, so he wasn't even part of the last couple games.
He didn't play the playoffs at all.
He missed the last 2 or 3 games of the season, and obviously he wasn't there in the playoffs.
Right. So what was their record though when he was there for the 15?
No, he was good. He was good. I mean, he was considered an MVP that year, right?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. That's right.
So was Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson got MVP, and what did he do the next year?
Well, yeah, but was Goff ever up for MVP?
No, but he took his team to the Super Bowl. He took them.
and
not the backup.
Yet here we are 2 years later, and you guys have moved on from Goff.
That wasn't the question. The question was, who would you take, Wentz or Goff?
And that's why I said
Eagles.
I'm going Wentz.
Out of both guys, who had the
Wentz
best?
Hasn't been the same since that year. That's why I'm taking Goff.
When Wentz got hurt,
Goff hasn't been the same since the Super Bowl.
The Eagles were 11-2. The Eagles were 11-2.
But that was still 2 years after Wentz.
Wentz didn't do anything. He didn't lead anybody to the Super Bowl.
He did.
He did not lead them to the Super Bowl. Did he make it? Did he in the playoffs win a game? No, he did not.
No,
he did not take his team to the Super Bowl. Did he give
11-2 means nothing?
I didn't say he's nothing. I didn't say he's nothing. I'm saying
he was leading them there.
Physically took his team to the Super Bowl. It wasn't Wolford. It wasn't Wolford that stepped into the playoffs and took him to the Super Bowl. It was Goff. Just like they beat the Chiefs that year on Monday night in one of the greatest games that you've ever seen.
So you tell me then, is Goff leaving, getting shipped out of LA? Is it because of disgruntled coach player, or is he just not the guy?
Disgruntled coach.
It's just the coach inherited Goff. He's not the ideal quarterback for his system. So sure, he played with him, he worked with him, he tried to work with him and try to get him to a certain level, but he realized that, hey, look, he's not the guy that I want. You should know that you're a head coach. When it's not your guy, you try to improvise, right? Get somebody else.
I think Goff just hit a wall after that Super Bowl season. Who knows if it has to do with the money or not? I don't think it has to do with the money, but he just hit a wall and he hasn't progressed after that third or fourth season like he should be. And that's what's happening with as far as Wentz. I think Wentz is good. It's a pretty fair question, the whole debate we're having. But Wentz, after he took that injury, his rookie year, or maybe it was his second year, whatever, he hasn't been the same. And he hasn't been there kind of enough to get it going again because shit keeps happening to him.
So here's what I'll say.
Take Goff.
I think that it really comes down to the system, because if you look at the system when Bob or whoever made the comment about Jalen Hurts coming in, I think he's up and coming to be a good quarterback, but the system was different. This system's different now than it was when Frank Reich was here. And I think to your comment about Goff and the coach, McVay, I think that they've just, you look at, and that's why I said Aaron Rodgers isn't leaving anywhere. He's got a coach that is tuned into how he wants to call the game. And you could see that he had a hell of a year this year. So I think it really comes down to the system.
Yeah. Coach, let me ask you this, and what's the real answer?
Stafford's going to kick ass this year.
If Wentz doesn't get hurt.
Him and McVay together? Oh, baby.
If Wentz doesn't get hurt, go ahead, Luda.
If Wentz doesn't get hurt, would he have taken them all the way and win the Super Bowl? And I want you to be, you believe so.
Okay. I believe so because I watched, I'm secretly an Eagles fan just because when Andy Reid was there, I really like Andy Reid. But
he's not there honestly anymore. So you're a Chiefs fan now too?
No, they don't live in LA. They don't live in LA.
Go for the PA. But I know honestly, you're a PA guy. You're a PA guy, right?
The Eagles are on a roll that year. So yes. As you can see, it's minority. Let's make the minorities feel insecure today. Brian, it's just you and I, dog.
That's right.
That's right. That was good.
Well, let's move on from that. I kind of agree with both of y'all. And you're right, Eddie P. That was a fair question. When I first seen it, I was like, please, I'm picking Goff, but you guys are right. I mean, I'm heartbroken. I'm disgruntled. But it is what it is. You guys have changed my mind. What's your favorite gangster theme movie? Now I feel like we should have probably made this one versus the other, but it's really hard, because
I just say I don't think this should be a squad up. I think we just need to hear everybody's
let's just
gangster movie, right?
Yeah.
So let's do top five. Let's do top five.
Okay.
Five.
Yeah, because there's too many. There's too many.
Godfather. One.
No.
Oh.
Two's way better than one.
I don't know. They're
both good.
They're both money.
If somebody has Godfather 3 on here, I'm coming to wherever you're at and I'm punching you in the fucking face.
that one they could have done without. That one.
There's so many. I liked Donnie Brasco.
Donnie Brasco is a good movie. Yeah.
It's based on a true story as well.
I have to watch it.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
Right there.
That's a number
right there
one
for me.
Yeah.
Goodfellas might be my number one. Yeah.
There's a Bronx Tale.
Bronx Tale's good too.
Good. Yeah.
Yep.
Scarface. Does anybody have Scarface?
Oh, for sure. Scarface.
Of course.
Definitely top 5.
I'll
say this. I got one that was more recent, and that's The Departed.
The Departed was a great movie.
Oh, what about?
I was going to say that.
Even more recent than that, The Irishman.
Oh yeah, The Irishman was pretty good too.
That was pretty good.
Long as hell, but it was good.
How many hours? Like 6 hours?
It felt like 6 hours.
Yeah. The credits are still rolling.
That was a good one.
Did someone say Heat?
I did say Heat. I liked Heat.
Yeah, Heat was good too.
Yeah, that would qualify, I guess, as a gangster movie.
Right.
Would it really?
I mean,
it wouldn't.
I don't know.
It's more like a heist movie. But whatever. We'll throw it in there. Good job, Bob.
Friday. It was in the hood. I don't know how much.
Different kind of gangster movie.
New Jack City.
New Jack City. Hey, Nino Brown. Hey, New Jack City.
Nino.
Hey,
Nino.
My man Nino.
Oh shit.
Chris Rock.
Wasn't Chris Rock a crackhead in that one?
He was.
Yeah.
He was.
They gonna kill me, man.
That was a good one.
Would you guys consider Casino?
Yeah.
Casino's a great
yeah.
movie.
Oh, that's
Great
I
movie.
forgot about that.
I forgot about that. Good job.
I mean, the funny thing is like all of these that we keep pulling are all got either De Niro or Pesci in them.
Yeah. Eddie P's real father. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, what are you talking about? And there's other movies that they made when they were young bucks that were like gangster movies. Mean Streets.
Right.
Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched
that one's not really a gangster movie,
I
right?
had to watch that so much. I bought it for like $10 during this COVID time, and I was so mad. The Taxi
Driver with De Niro.
Yeah.
That one's not really a gangster movie. That's more like a guy who starts losing it.
Right.
Yeah,
Are you talking to me?
Thriller or something.
Yeah, you talking to me?
That's like what was that other movie with Michael Douglas in it where he loses it too? Just loses his shit.
Oh, Falling Down.
Falling down. That Taxi Driver Falling Down.
That's a funny ass movie.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that movie with Sean Penn and Michael Douglas? It's called The Game or something.
Oh,
I love that movie.
That was a good movie.
Where he plays that.
It's not a gangster movie, sorry, but it made me think of that when you said Michael Douglas.
Yeah, you guys got me on that one.
Yeah. You say Michael Douglas, I'm thinking
American Gangster. Did you guys like American Gangster?
I was going to say American Gangster too. Yeah, that's a good one.
Dude, anytime that thing comes on, I'm watching it from wherever it's at. You know, Angie always gets pissed. She's like, "You watching that again?" I'm like, "Yeah, because it's a freaking fantastic movie."
I stayed up a gangster from the 40s. What do you guys think about? Let's see. I gotta know when I
The
Untouchables.
Untouchables. Oh, nice.
Oh shit!
Still haven't seen that movie.
Taking me all the way back.
Oh, dude, you gotta see that one. Sean Connery,
Kevin Costner,
Andy Garcia.
You bring a gun. Yep.
Andy Garcia.
Yeah, and De Niro.
Robert De Niro. Yeah.
De Niro.
Yeah.
De Niro yet again. Yeah.
That's all I got.
I'm trying to
good picks.
Even though it was across the pond, Boondock Saints.
Oh, I did like Boondock Saints.
I liked it, but
that's
like Irishy gangster.
Yeah.
I get it.
What was that other one?
How about Snatch? How about Snatch?
Snatch was a great movie.
Snatch was a good movie.
Surprised about that.
We're definitely watering down the gangster.
Yeah. Are you
okay, but what about the one that Johnny Depp did about Whitey Bulger?
Hello?
No.
Whitey.
Was that what it was called? Was Whitey?
I think so.
Something like that. Anyways, dude.
How appropriate is that?
Well, that's what's so good.
What's that supposed to
be? or you know what? There's a Johnny Depp one that's called
Public
Enemies.
Oh yeah, Public Enemies, where he played
John Dillinger.
John Dillinger, that's right.
Oh man, I'm sorry, Popoff. I'm sorry, man. You know, hey, my guy. You know I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? But fuck it.
So what's the top 5 then? What do we
just named like 30.
Goodfellas or Godfather 1 and 2.
Okay, Scarface. Okay, that's 3. Goodfellas, got to be on there.
Goodfellas.
Okay, and now what's number 5?
Casino. Fuck it.
No, we got to pick
it's one. Hard after that. It's hard after
that. It's hard.
I'm still pushing for the first one.
Colors.
The Departed.
Colors. Oh shit.
I go with The Departed. They had so many people in it, man.
The Departed was good.
Yeah, De Niro, Damon.
As long as y'all don't say The Tax Collector, we good.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
God. Yeah.
Anthony Anderson. Anthony Anderson was in that.
You didn't like it?
Yeah.
Rick Ross.
American Me.
No.
American Me.
Oh, American Me. Hey. Shout out to me.
You say American Pie?
Hey.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move forward, man. Good shit. Second quarter's all wrapped up. Let's get to the third quarter, and we're talking about what men think here. So I have talked to quite a few people, and actually they love this segment. They love hearing the shit that we got to say. Luda, you shine, baby. They love you, man. They love your crazy ass. So, you know, we'll see today what comes out. But we're gonna just go through, and honestly, this is open forum, so you guys speak when you want to. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have nothing, I get it. But let's see. Let's go through this very first question. Friend and I were talking about gender roles and how a lot of things are switching these days. And she was like, yo, is it acceptable for a woman to propose to you? I know some of you guys are married, you know what I'm saying? But you know, for us single or taken or just in general, what do y'all think? Yes, no.
Absolutely, that's acceptable. I think that's sexy for a woman to do something like that. That's
why is that, Eddie P?
Because that's her taking I don't know if ownership's the right word, but her taking that lead role and knowing what she wants and knowing she wants to be with her man and wanting to make that next step. Yeah, I think that's cool.
So if she proposes, is she giving you a ring at that time?
Yeah. She's doing it just the same as we.
That means she's got money too, so that's good.
Yeah.
Well, that's true too. Right?
Look, the way I see it, if she's gonna get on her knees and give me a ring, she could do something else. You know what I'm saying?
And there it is.
And that's a real woman, right?
Yeah. So okay. So
all right, hold on. So
totally acceptable
because you're in somewhat of a serious relationship right now,
right?
Oh shit.
If she comes a crawling down on her knee, are you accepting the proposal or not?
Oh, whoa, Brian.
Oh! Plead the fifth. Plead the fifth if you have to right now.
You know what he meant.
Don't incriminate yourself.
Yeah. Are you ready to be a made man?
Oh man. I don't
yeah.
So hold on, let me ask you guys
this. Sorry to put you in the
poor guy.
In the chair next to the judge.
So she said if you guys say yes, which I think we all say sure, that's no problem. And you know, Eddie, like you said, it shows that she's able to take charge. Does this mean now that she has proverbial control in the relationship, she wears the pants in the house, and you're taking her last name?
Hell no.
Hell to the motherfucking no.
I don't mind her taking initiative, but I wouldn't be taking the last name. I still believe in tradition. I would. And if she doesn't want to take mine, I mean, that's the new norm as well, too. People just kind of keep their names, but I'm not changing my name. Yeah, I'm not changing
hyphenating? You hyphenating?
Hyphenated. Yeah, you're going to do the hyphenated thing?
No, that's just...
Even the college kids are doing it, right?
That's going to stereotype me now, man. You know how Mexicans have long-ass names? Enrique, Cherique. So
let me see how would that sound?
We don't need that shit.
Mr. Eddie Hayek. Oh, I could do that. Mr. Eddie Hayek. Absolutely. Yes. I'll take Selma's last name for sure.
See?
This fool right here.
Hayek Perez? No,
Hayek Perez. She's still a banger. I know everybody's talking about
you don't want Selma Perez sounds so much better.
No, okay.
Hey, that'll work too. That'll work too.
I want to retry. If Eddie P's picking like celebrities and we do get lucky enough to score that and hit the lottery, then yeah, I don't mind being Louis Kardashian. You know? LK.
Louis Kardashian. LK. That flows. That actually flows.
Yeah, LK.
You go out. All right, so next one. And this one, her and I debated for quite some time. She had a good laugh. Is it ever acceptable for a man to sit down when he pees?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, if you're drunk and you're going to fall all over the place and piss all over, you better sit down.
Or break a toilet, Ed?
Or break a toilet. Yes, I was drunk. Case in point. Thank you.
Even I never broke a toilet. Damn.
That's hilarious.
Now, if it's just because, I don't know, you're being lazy, I don't know about that.
I really never sat down to take a pee unless I had diarrhea or some shit like that, or taking a shit. But
peeing out of your butt.
But yeah, but like even if I'm drunk, I'm just holding on and be like, oh shit.
You don't mind that it gets all over the place. Yeah. All right, so if you miss the mark because that happens during that shit. Are you the one that comes back and cleans this shit up, or you just like, yo, fuck it?
No, you do it right then and there.
Bullshit. When you're drunk, you ain't cleaning it. You
ain't cleaning it.
Not at the time. No, not at the time.
That's exactly why you got to sit down in that situation.
Okay, whatever.
All right, let me ask y'all this, because I told her, I said, yeah, there are 3 situations that I sit down and I pee. You guys named the number 1, right? Number 2 is right after sex. For some reason with me, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it's extra mushy. Like, I go to pee and that shit just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a fucking sprinkler.
Yeah, so you know what? I'm like
extra mushy.
If I piss a little bit and it starts to go one way and I'm aiming sideways. This way, I'm like, let me go ahead and sit down this one. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and hold this motherfucker. Then the third time, and I did yesterday with my sister, I had to pee so bad, but I was on the phone, and she just kept talking, so I couldn't tell her to hold on. So I just sat there and squatted. I said, fuck it. And I just pissed right up against the porcelain so nobody could hear.
She can't hear it, yeah.
I made sure I like squatted and like held it up against the porcelain and let it trickle down and shit. You know what I'm saying?
She still knew you were in the bathroom.
She did, because I had to use the toilet right afterwards too.
Well, but that really gave it away. But there's a different sound when you're in the bathroom.
The acoustics are different. Yeah.
I was gonna say there is a fourth one, Rick, but I won't bring up the Boston situation.
Here we go.
Oh shit!
Oh boy!
No,
story time.
Story time.
Jason, I swear to God, if that picture comes up, I swear to you right now, I will be in motherfucking Pennsylvania, bro, and it won't be nice. It won't be nice.
Just to give a little example of Rick's second example, like Jim Carrey on Me, Myself, and Irene.
Yeah, exactly.
Sex piss.
Yes.
I think long story short, I'm man enough to know when it's time for me to squat. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
All right, keeping forward. Can you guys stay with a woman who can't cook?
Well, as long as she can be better at other things.
She can always learn, right? She can always learn.
What if she doesn't give a fuck? I'm telling you, these new women do not give a fuck.
No,
that ain't happening, Bob. That ain't happening, Bob.
It's hard. I mean, you could probably mess with one for a while, but you eventually want one that's going to give you a home cooked meal and some loving.
Yeah, sometimes at least.
Right.
Yeah.
She got to be able to cook, man.
But nowadays, what is cooking? That's the whole thing, right? So some people would be like, I took the chicken right out of the freezer it was already pre-seasoned and I stuck it, in the oven and let me go grab that box of mac and cheese and let me make that for you.
No, that's, they got,
I mean,
in
they're
my
fixing
opinion,
you a meal, but
I'm not going to say all women, but the women I prefer to date or go out with, I want them to cook and be able to cook.
Yeah.
And
she gotta be able to cook.
I mean, I cook as well, so definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, use a chef. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. We cook. You know what I'm saying. You have to cook. If you make eggs, chicken, if you know what I'm saying, like things that burgers in the microwave, and you call that cooking, we out. We out.
No, microwave. Oh, no.
I seen this one thing on Instagram. This girl was like, "Oh yeah, girls, get a girl like me." You know what I'm saying? Or guys, you got to get a girl like me. I made my man chicken, and I made it a medium rare. I was like, "There's no medium rare chicken
for chicken.
Right?
No.
Chicken.
She's trying to kill her, man. That's what she's
trying. I was like, "Yo, get out, brother." SOS. You know, she don't love you.
She found out he had an insurance policy.
You know what I'm saying? She fucking Yo, get out.
Medium rare.
Medium rare chicken, bro. Never have I ever.
All
right, so the next one. Is it normal to go right to sleep after sex?
I do it all the time.
Yep.
I bust it, and then I turn around and cover myself and be like, all right.
Oh my God. When it goes, it's good. You know
I think the cuddling and all that stuff is during the dating process and eventually here and there with your wife. But if you guys, I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. If you've been dating somebody for a while and you just busted, I'm going to sleep.
So let me see if I understand this. You cook for your woman, you take her name, you cook for her, and then you guys get together and then you go to sleep. Is that how it works, Luda?
Yeah, and let me point that out, Coach.
Like Steak and Shake, is that where you take her?
Wait a minute, you just said it. I took her name. I fucking been cleaning all day, whatever. I've been working and I gave it up, and now I get to sleep.
I gave it up.
I cooked for her over a fucking hot stove, motherfucker. Shit.
Hey, Rick, let me.
Do you say good night before you go to sleep, or you just say good night, Chloe?
I'll be like, no, it's Kim, and I'll be like, good night, Kim.
Oh, sorry, Kim.
Give her.
They usually like to cuddle after sex, though. It's more them than it is us.
But Luda, not all the time.
Luda,
but we have to do it.
I get it.
What if she says, "Are you going to sleep? I wanted to have another moment with you." Would you go to sleep or would you stay up?
No, then I'll stay up. But if she doesn't say shit, I'm turning around and going to sleep.
Y'all are
like, yeah. So yeah, if she has, then yeah, I'll be like, oh, I'm not gonna like it, but I'll be like, okay, baby, whatever.
This segment shouldn't be called "What Men Think" anymore. It's "What's Luda Think."
Yeah.
No.
Luda's corner.
Luda's corner. There you go.
That's my answer to you, Mr. THC Coachy.
I appreciate that.
So we're gonna transition just a little bit. This one came to me earlier. Food. What restaurant did you think was nice as a kid, but you became an adult and realized it wasn't shit at all? I'll tell y'all mine, Sizzler, for sure.
Sizzler, for sure.
Sizzler was number fucking one. I was like, yo, Sizzler, Malibu chicken, popping. Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Malibu chicken is nothing more than a Tyson frozen patty, a piece of fucking Oscar Mayer fucking ham, you know what I'm saying? And some schmear. You know what I'm saying? In a microwave. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. Sizzler, man.
I don't know.
You gotta do better.
What was the question one more time?
Sizzler.
So what restaurant did you think was nice as a kid, right? Or younger? You know what I'm saying? That as you got older, you realized it ain't shit.
No.
We couldn't really afford Sizzler, so that's why Sizzler was always like, oh, that was back in the day. Now you go to Sizzler and you're like, what is this?
Chris to us. Yeah.
Ruth Chris.
Niggas all dressed up nice, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got the good shoes on. You like, yo, Sizzler's popping tonight. You know
like, hey,
you got the little clip-on tie,
I mean,
now we're going to Sizzler.
Couldn't that be said for all like your major chain restaurants?
It really could.
I mean,
Burger King.
Because I like
Burger King. I was just gonna say Burger King. Like me and Mick used to go to Burger King all the time. We used to walk there.
Burger King used to love Burger King. Like, when I was a kid, Burger King had like the little kids club, and so they had like the little black kid. You know what I'm saying? They used to always be like, "Yo, that's my dude." I forget his name, but it was like, "Yo, Burger King is popping." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then I tried it a year ago, and oh god, it's terrible.
Went right through you, huh? Went right through you, huh?
Right through me.
Commercials still look good though. Them flame broiled, they make them commercials look popping.
That's where he was sitting down to pee. Eddie
That's right.
Sitting down to pee after he went to Burger King.
Peeing out of my
butt. That's where he got his name, Eddie P.
I will say, and it could just be my experience. The last time we were in Arizona with Rick, all of us, myself, THC, and Mick, Rick took us through Popeyes so we could try the famous fucking chicken. That everybody was so fucking going nuts for.
Yep.
And that was just fucking hot basura.
Yeah,
that was not good.
Isn't that the same sandwich Mick waited 2 hours just about a week ago?
That's Chick-fil-A. That's Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
Another overrated place, but you know, whatever. The chicken nuggets is popping. Yeah, you're right. Popeyes, man. Hey, and you know what, Popeyes? I hate that you have us cooning in all of them commercials. Although I still can't help but saying, "I got Popeyes." You know what I'm saying? They always sing in and like we like chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Well, how about the one guy? Because he's not only in Popeyes commercial, he's in the Burger King commercials also.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The guy who's like, "Oh, you look special." Oh, you know.
Joke in the bag.
Oh man, they have that brother out there, man. All right, okay. So the last little bit, we're gonna talk about white people shit. All right, because there's a show on Amazon, and Amazon, you know what I'm saying, definitely feel free to tap into our podcast and give us a little sponsorship. But they got this show on white people or on Amazon Prime called White People Shit that I just came across, and I fell on the floor laughing, mainly because I feel like I would do this show. It's a comedian, King Karan Harris, and he basically
the black guy.
I would do it. I would totally do this shit. But he basically just goes around and he does shit that usually is deemed as white people shit, right? So I want to know, you know, based off of some of the stuff that he did, would you guys do this? Okay, so there's an episode. Tell me if you're in or not. Oh, first off, I'm sorry. Tell me if you think this is white people shit, and then tell me if you think that you're in on this. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start off mildly. Let's say dog grooming. And not just dog grooming, like colorful dog grooming. So your dog gets his hair cut, but then like the front is black and then the back is like purple and green, and then they stick like a little feather. White people shit, yes or no?
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a white person, and I'm telling you that's white people shit.
Yeah.
Are y'all doing that shit?
It's not happening in my house, but
because Angie's there. Thank God for Angie.
No, my dog with his coat, I don't think you can do anything with it.
That's definitely some white people shit. All right. The next one. LARPing. Live action role playing. That means, dressing up with your people like Game of Thrones, going out to the park on a Sunday. Fake,
swords,
fake and fighting and all that shit.
And you out there just roll. My bad, I hit the mic. See, that's how it happens. You just lose control. But you out there just yeah. White people shit. Yes or no?
White people shit.
Yeah.
So
look at that movie Role Models. They did it in the movie
right.
Role Models.
Role Models.
Oh yeah, Role Models. Yeah.
They were all white.
I would say that's a 95% white people shit. There is 5% of
ethnicity.
The sci-fi nerd. So you got those people that are gonna.
You're right.
They love Star Wars. They'll always have that. Up like Star Wars. They're gonna dress up like fucking Marvel characters. Luda dressing like Spider-Man. You ain't white.
Oh, he got you, Luda.
Hey,
that's a Comic-Con thing, right?
Comic-Con thing, man.
It's a Comic-Con thing.
And I will tell you, man. I took my kids to Comic-Con a couple years back as like a thing for.
How was it?
Did you dress up as?
We went to the LA one because San Diego's just so hard to go, and it was. I actually enjoyed it. It was actually.
Hey, real quick, I just found Jamal.
Is that Jamal or that does look like Will? That does look like Will.
That might be Will.
Yeah, I think that's Will. I think that's where he is. Will's been in hiding. We have found you. Yeah, of course he
is.
He
the black door right there?
Hey,
yeah,
and there's your percentages. That's your percentage, 33% right there.
Exactly. There's always that one brother who's out there with him.
Yeah.
Hey, come on now. Come on.
So that's white people stuff.
All right, the next one. My man visited an alpaca farm. Okay.
Well, and first off, alpaca farms definitely white man shit in the United States.
Let's just start there.
Okay. For sure. In the United States. I mean, I know there's alpaca farms other places, but
what is an alpaca farm?
It's a farm of alpacas.
It's a gang of
what an alpaca is?
Is it an animal?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like long leg or
long-legged, long neck.
Llama, kind of like a
horse.
Yeah,
like llama that spits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bob, did you go see those for Sadie's birthday?
I sure did. Damn.
We went to
we went to a small little farm. She wanted to see some animals, and they had a couple of alpacas. And during that time, unfortunately, they were doing their business, and like, damn, are they ever going to stop?
There it is. You're watching them mate, and there it is.
It's not white people shit.
All right, it's no longer.
It's a farm. It's a farm, And they had They had a camel there. They had a water buffalo.
And I
they had a
buffalo.
Yeah.
Wow.
They had a zonkey. They had a zonkey.
What the fuck is a zonkey?
Zebra and a
donkey
mix. Yeah.
Zebra donkey mix.
That shit is hilarious. You know what that makes me think of? Have you guys watched that show or that movie Good Boys? Oh, you guys gotta watch it. It's a bunch of kids. It's funny as hell. They're cussing and all that.
We started to watch it and we ended up turning it off.
Those Three Little Boys?
Yeah, and it's not for kids, but it's a hella funny. It's a hella funny thing. And I remember they had Molly, and the girls were trying to get the Molly back, and he was like, "Yo, throw it in the woods." And he was like, "What if a fox takes a Molly and tries to fuck a rabbit? It's gonna be fucked up." You know what I'm saying? That's what that reminds me of. That's what a fucking whatever the fuck you said. Yeah, exactly.
And just a quick fun fact on that movie: they were they made that movie. It was a rated R movie. They were so young that they couldn't even go to the premiere to watch it.
Yeah,
they weren't allowed to watch. Yeah,
they did phenomenally though.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Coach put up a picture of an alpaca for you.
Oh, let me see.
That's hilarious.
Oh, shit.
All right. So we're gonna talk wellness for a second. Oh, go ahead.
Wait a minute. It gets better. Right there it is. That's my guy.
Oh, my man, Coach is quick with it. Hey. All right. So let's talk wellness, and then we'll wrap this one up. Okay. 3 things. Very first one, he went to a shop in LA. They did aerial fitness, where they have like these. I don't know what to call like big old ribbons, and they just go up in and they do all sorts of stuff, twirling and all that. White people shit.
What?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yes. Aerial fitness.
You know what? That sounds like something I can't even afford. So it's gonna be
a Cirque du Soleil type of thing.
Yeah, that sounds weird.
Yeah, I mean, hey, the women, I don't mean to bring it down. She was like, yeah, for every 12 men, there's one guy. I'd probably be that one guy. Like, hey, I don't know what the fuck is happening. I'm just here for a good time. You guys gotta watch that show because honestly, the way that he was like messing around, like hollering at women, that would be me for sure. Y'all gotta watch that episode. All right.
That sounds like Orange County white women.
Do they know he's filming?
Yes. Yeah. It's like a whole on show, so they know. All right. So yoga. Pause. Not just yoga. Goat yoga.
Oh, I heard of that.
You have? Definitely. I have never heard of this.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I've heard of
that.
I've never heard of this.
Heard about it in Orange County.
Yeah, like this lady has like a farm with goats, and they do yoga within the stable. So like the goats are like moving all up through you and all that.
They'll climb on top of them and stuff.
Yeah, they'll climb on top of you and all that shit.
Pissing on your mat, shitting
David,
on your mat. And they're like, yo,
that not just goat yoga now. Now there's beer yoga.
What? I'll do that.
What?
Beer yoga. Yeah. And every person that's in the photo for beer yoga, all white women.
Why can't we just do regular ass yoga? You know what I'm saying? Like yoga.
Be Orange County in the mat.
It's all Orange County. I'm just.
I've never heard of the goat yoga. They're just walking around.
Yeah, little goats are just walking around. Yeah, it's crazy.
You got to see this show. You got to see it. It's wild shit. Yeah. So is it official? White people shit?
Yes.
Yeah, white people shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. There it is.
There it is. There it is.
That's some wild shit. All right, the very last thing, and I guess this one isn't wellness, it's more of a sport. During the pandemic, when we really didn't have any sports, ESPN used to air this thing where they would do like high diving, but the point was to belly flop. And whomever could belly flop the worst off this high dive.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. That's like extreme diving or something.
Exactly. It was called something. But just the premise of you have to jump off high. You do a move. Yeah, and then death diving, yeah. Actually, I think that's what it was called, death diving. But like, you have to belly flop. Like, no matter what you do, at the end of the day,
but it wasn't they would never do a perfect belly flop because obviously it was like a at an angle.
Yeah, like
it's crazy. It's nuts.
Sounds like it's pretty painful.
I think it's white people fucked up on shit like meth or crack.
And ESPN was here for it. He's like, yo, keep the camera rolling. I'm here for this shit. You know,
we need ratings, right?
Yeah, who wants to do that from 40, 50 feet up, man?
That's insane.
It's bad enough if you actually accidentally do a belly flop off just a regular diving board.
You're going to hurt your insides, man.
You got to be really.
Reminds me of the Ocho from Average Joe's. Right?
Yes.
When they were talking about the Ocho.
Yeah.
And all the crazy sports that they have.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's what it was on. Yeah. So let me just throw this out here. First and foremost, swimming is white people shit. I don't give a fuck. Okay, I know that there's 5% of us that do it. White people shit. Okay, swimming, diving, definitely white people shit. Okay, my son.
Mexicans do diving too, though. Mexicans do diving too.
And once again, these are just by majority percentages. Okay. You
know sure.
Why do you have the white voice going though?
Bro, we got everything else. Don't worry about it. Like, they cast swimming. It's cool. Swimming, diving. Have it. You know what I'm saying? That's all y'all. Then purposely getting hurt, right? Because that shit hurts. Like, you see them, they come out there all red and they're like, yo, no, it hurts, but she was it's like white people shit. All of
adrenaline rush.
Yeah, no. Yeah. That if I want an adrenaline rush,
what?
Nah, I don't know what I'm doing these days. Watching a scary movie.
Yeah, drink a Red Bull.
Having sex without a condom. All right, let's wrap this up. Let's get to the fourth quarter. Good talk, fellas. We'll have much more. And hey, for anybody listening, if you have anything that you want to hear us talk about, or what men think, or any of the segment for that matter, by all means, please feel free. We appreciate y'all listening and always interacting with us. So for those who asked those questions, I hope you enjoyed that. All right, so on to fourth quarter. Bump it or dump it time. All right, so we got a few topics here. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to lead off with Jake Paul. Jake Paul, infamously knocked out Nate Robinson. And, now he's getting ready to fight UFC's Ben Askren. Yeah, I know, right? Who?
Like a real one? Or like
but it's a UFC fighter nonetheless, right? It's somebody that's trained and has done, he's stepping up his competition. You're going from an NBA player to, a trained fighter. Bump it or dump this one?
Is it in a ring or in
dump it?
boxing.
Octagon.
It's boxing.
I think it's a boxing match. It's a I think
it's a boxing match.
Sanctioned boxing match.
Dump it. I don't even know who any of them are.
Yeah.
Jake Paul. But...
You're not here for any more.
Ben Askren was he was a great wrestler in college. I think he might have lost one fight or he went undefeated. I don't know, but he's not a boxer. Like people want to see him fight a boxer, but other guys are approaching him saying that they can beat him up or they can kick his ass in boxing. So, he's taking on whoever's they're throwing at him. So
yeah,
we'll see. I mean, I say dump it. It's not that interesting. After I saw Nate Robinson get knocked out like that, he looked pretty bad. It's I don't need to see that again.
Well, see, I'd much rather see like two guys who get us like two basketball players that we know hated each other in the NBA and let them go at it.
Yeah, so like Shaq and Chuck. Shaq and Charles Barkley go at it.
They wouldn't even make. I don't even know if both of them can make the first 3 minutes of the first round.
I mean, Shaq is apparently in the best shape of his life, and nobody knows it. So I don't know. We'd have to see. We know Chuck isn't. But sticking with this whole idea of celebrity boxers and basketball players, Lamar Odom of Laker fame he has signed a celebrity boxing deal, and he's got his first match slated for June 1st. We have no idea who his opponent is or anything like that. He just knows June 1st he's fighting and he's training, and he released videos of him training. Are we bumping or dumping this one?
Dump it.
Dump it. I mean, he's gonna have a heart attack if he goes through with this, dude. Like, stay home, Lamar. Rest up.
Maybe this is what helps him, though. You know what I'm saying? Exercise is healing.
Well,
I think he's gonna take whatever money he's getting for this, and he's gonna go on a fucking crack binge.
Another spree.
Yeah. What's the matter with him? What the hell is he doing?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Ever since that whole trade for the Lakers, it went downhill for that man.
Right. I think it probably just broke his heart that he wasn't with the Lakers anymore.
Once he was a part of that.
But you said he signed a deal. I guess it's a multiple fight deal.
It's a multiple fight deal.
How many fights is he supposed to fight?
Let me double check this. I thought at first it was initially like either 3 or 4.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah. Let me see here.
Wonder if it'll get past 2, or if it even would get to 2.
It doesn't show me on this. Yeah, it does not show me. So I don't know, but it's either way. I mean, once he gets past his first tune-up, you know what I'm saying, on June 1st. Which is there? I wonder if they're going to do this like they did Jake Paul. Like, is it going to be on the undercard of somebody big like a Roy Jones? I don't know. Maybe it's going to be the Evander Holyfield Tyson undercard. We'll see. All right. Well, let's stick with the NBA. So the NBA has been pretty up and down. I was going to say strict, but up and down on their guidelines. Right. Last week, the Nets were in Miami playing the Heat, and Kyrie and Bam Adebayo, came together and they had a hug and they wanted to exchange jerseys, and NBA security came in and said, nah, none of that. You know what I'm saying? And, it was basically like how the NFL had done, their restriction on jersey swapping. Are you guys here for that, or do you think the NBA is going a little bit too far?
I think it's going
if they could give each other a hug, if they could give each other a hug, they could exchange jerseys. I don't understand what the problem is. And then you got KD and who was it? Kyrie giving their jerseys to 2 Chainz. So why is that okay? But he can't do it to Bam Adebayo, and he's playing with them the whole time.
Yeah,
they're on the floor the same court the whole time. So why not? Why couldn't you just exchange jerseys? It makes no sense.
Sweating all over each other, playing. Yeah, it's like, what? That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
dump it.
And then they're all going through the same procedures as far as staying COVID safe or whatever. So both teams are doing the exact same thing, and they're still touching each other on the field, on the court. Why wouldn't you be able? And like as Bob pointed out, you have KD giving it to a fucking rapper, and
they're probably going to hang out after the game anyway at a club somewhere. So, or maybe not at a club, but somewhere where they're having refreshments.
Well,
why can't they just do a jersey swap?
Yeah, it is kind of weird. And I understand that they're trying to keep everybody safe, but it's tough to even understand, how that works these days.
No, that was at what stadium did they do this at?
That was
it in Miami?
I believe that was in Miami.
Miami. So could it be possibly maybe that it's certain stadiums that are maybe not to the NBA, but certain stadiums that are probably a little more restricted than others.
Yeah,
that's maybe. Just me, you know.
Maybe I don't know,
but I did think that was stupid.
Yeah, it is. Okay, a couple of more questions here. Now, this one was just brought up. Lakers Celtics played last night. Great game. Lakers ended up winning that game by 1 after 2 failed last second attempts on the Celtics side. I believe it was Jaylen Brown that missed a jumper, and then Daniel Theis who missed the putback. Was that a preview finals or finals preview? Excuse me. What do you guys think? Bump or dump that? Brian says no.
I don't think it's a preview of the finals.
I think the Sixers and Lakers are a preview to the finals more than this would be. But as far as last night's game, I just think it was a close game. Me and Bob were watching it last night, and we both Bob mentioned, look, AD looks tired, and which they did. I mean, he couldn't even shoot that last shot. He got a block taken down the field. Luckily for us, they didn't score. Otherwise, they would have won.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Celtics are just doing the same thing they've been doing the past couple of years. They look good during the regular season, and then a couple rounds in the playoffs, and they're out.
Yeah.
The only thing nice, and I know I'm a Celtics fan, obviously. It would be nice to see the Sixers do something because I think they're hungry. I think they're more hungry than the Celtics, and I agree with Eddie P. It's kind of frustrating as a Celtics fan to see, we were supposed to be something, and hasn't really panned out. Hasn't panned out.
What happened to all those draft picks that you guys?
That's what I was going to say. Danny Ainge said that they were going to do something and they didn't do anything.
They're missing, I don't know, a big man or something. They're missing a piece that put them over the hump. I think it's a big man.
Hey, they got Taco Fall. What are you talking about? The biggest big man out there.
I'll say this though. I think Jaylen Brown looks good this year.
Yeah.
You want to talk about stepping up his game? Like he's taking it to another level this year, and maybe getting to a point where this might become his team, not Tatum's team, but his team.
I think Tatum, it'll still always be Tatum's team, but I think they're setting it up. I mean, and I'm sorry for the way high, comparison here, but almost of the Jordan Pippen type thing, the 1 to the 1A, you know what I'm saying? That's how good they're both going to be. And I've always maintained, honestly, that I think that Boston is extremely formidable because of those two. I think that the addition of Kyrie when he came was good, and then it didn't really pan out. I definitely think the addition of Kemba is still good. I know he's dealing with injuries and whatnot, but I think honestly it is Jason and Jaylen's team, you know what I'm saying? And those two dudes, they are maturing at a rate that is going to be scary. You're not even scratching the surface on what they can do. I don't think. I think they're still sort of coming into, their new bodies. They're young, you know what I'm saying? They're getting taller, stronger. Jason's range is, he's going to be on that KD level. You know what I'm saying? How do you stop him? He's so tall, so lanky, you know what I'm saying? And athletic as hell, man. It's a different thing. So I'll be honest with y'all. I'm not out on the Celtics reaching the finals. I think as crazy as it is to say that they're an underdog, but I guess they are an underdog sneak peek or a sneak pick out of that Eastern Conference. And I would love to see the Lakers Celtics in the finals. I've been calling for it for the past 3 years. I thought last year was prime for it. And I definitely want to see it this year.
What are we?
For you Lakers fans,
are we tied now with championships with the Celtics?
Yeah. Yep.
Then I think we should have a Celtics Lakers finals, and let's just. I wouldn't have it any other way. And I think let's just break that tie. Let's just break that tie. Fuck it.
Well, let me ask this question. The other night, the Sixers played the Lakers. I didn't see that game. How did the Sixers look versus the Lakers?
Well, the Sixers look better than
tired.
The Celtics.
Yeah, the Sixers did look good, but the Lakers just looked tired. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that the Sixers faced the Lakers at their tip top. And still, we almost won that game. We stood in that down by 9 range for quite some time. I mean, and we weren't. You can just see it. We weren't on our game 100%. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about the Sixers. I'll be quite honest with you. I know Joel Embiid is doing his thing. I'm not worried about the Sixers. I'm more so worried about the matchups as it pertains to the Celtics. That's the team that scares me more. Period.
I mean, the Celtics are barely above 500, right? They're 10-8, and you're saying they're a championship contender.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean,
doesn't seem like
we're that's 18 games. It's this year. It's a how many games? 70 game season. 70.
I think so. I think they're trying to get 70.
Well,
70
thank you for saying that, because
season.
we're talking about power rankings at this point. It's too early to talk about who's going to be.
We didn't really get into it, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you're right. Yeah, I mean, and those things have changed so quickly, right? Like right now, Utah is number one. Whether you guys realize this, they're on an 11-game win streak. You know what I'm saying? Those boys are rolling. And once again, that's another challenger. We talk about Lakers, Clippers, but you can't. Well,
Lakers are number 3. Lakers are number 3 right now. Utah's number 1. Clippers are number 2. So you can't leave out the Clippers either. They're number 2 right now, right? So
and that's cool. They're rolling.
Are they a championship caliber team, as you're talking about, like the Celtics?
Yeah, they are. But they'll playoff P will do what playoff P does. So I mean, yeah, not really worried about them. I'm worried. I'm looking. I'm one of those fans that I'm looking past the West. I think it'll be a great battle, whomever we face. I don't know if you know this.
You're jumping ship already.
No, I'm saying it's going to be a great battle.
He's saying we're going to go through the West and get to the finals.
We're going to go through the West. We're going to get to the finals, and in the finals, I see the Celtics coming out on top of this thing. All the Celtics need is decent seeding, really. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the seeding matters too. Let them be in a.
So you don't think Brooklyn will be there?
Brooklyn, I think that might be who they face in the finals. I think Brooklyn will beat Philadelphia. Because look at Philadelphia. I mean, Philadelphia has struggles when it comes to the playoffs, period. They've been primed, you know what I'm saying, for a couple of years.
Now they got their coach, right? They got their coach. Doc Rivers is such a great coach that he should get him over the hump.
You remember what you guys said about him choking, right? Not that I don't.
I was being sarcastic when I said that. I don't think he's a great coach.
Oh, well. What about the Heat? Like, where are the Heat in all this? I haven't really heard much about them, but
they're the bottom of the barrel. I think they're like 7-12 or something like that. 7-11.
Oh wow, okay.
The Heat will be in the mix. They still have a good young team too, but they're not there. They're not there. They would play that. They would play that Toronto Raptors. How the fuck are you still number 2 without Kawhi role? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, but they're not going to get there. So, it'll be interesting to see. All right. Well, I wanted to break down the mock draft, but I mean, I think we're just about out of time. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and skip forward. We can talk about this next week, and we'll get to the final word this week. Babo, the floor is
yours. I hate being put on the spot. I don't like being the center of attention. But I like to thank my family, my wife, my kids, for allowing me to just do the podcast, be myself, do my thing. A lot of times I'm away from home due to my job. So I'd like to give a quick shout out to my wife, Stacy, my son, Roman, and my daughter, Sadie, who just celebrated her 3rd birthday last week. So, I got to give kudos to them because they allow me to do what I do when I do what I do. So, it's something that I appreciate. I don't always say it. I don't say it enough for sure, but it's something that definitely comes to mind for me. And then also having you guys and having this podcast to, we don't always get to hang out together like we used to. People have other priorities. People have their families to watch over and take care of. So, and being with this pandemic going on, it's nice to be able to have you guys there. You guys are family, and, having that camaraderie that we have together, it's great to be able to have. So that's my final word. Guys on YouTube, in podcast land, thank you guys for your support. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys, and we'll try to put stuff out there as much as we can.
Amen. Well, hey, Bob, thank you. Fantastic, great word. And shout out to the Quintero crew. I know, what I'm saying, we don't talk nearly as much as we, did a couple of years ago, and that does suck. I miss and love you guys all your families. We talk about it all the time, man. This is a big family, you know what I'm saying? Not only just us, but our extensions, right? And it's all love amidst all of us. Once again, we thank all of our listeners as well. I also want to note one more thing. While we are celebrating life, love, and the fact that we are all here to hug each other, I just want to send, love and condolences to the family and fans of just a few people here. We had, obviously some losses, and that's how life works, right? We don't have life without a little bit of death, unfortunately. And I just want to send some shout out and some love to, Cloris Leachman, who passed, the great Temple coach, John Chaney, the incomparable and fantastic Cicely Tyson. That was a big blow. And then also the NBA family lost, a great heart and a great man in Sekou Smith. So I just want to send love and tell you guys, honestly, to continue to live life, at full speed. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit around being lazy, taking things for granted or anything like that. Like balls out, basically, for lack of a better term. I'm sorry. Just live, appreciate everything and everybody around you and every day. And, keep your mind right. Let's get active. All right. And on that note, I think this wraps up episode number 39. Once again, we thank you all for tuning in, whether you're listening to us on your favorite podcast station or you're watching us on YouTube. The crew sends mad love to y'all. Tune in next week. We'll be back for number 40. And this is how we do when we do what we do. We out.
YOLO.